Hello, my name's Elys Dolan, and I am the author and illustrator of Rex, Dinosaur in Disguise, my new book, part of my new series. Now, today I want to tell you a little bit about the inspiration behind making the book and how I came up with the characters. So Rex, Dinosaur in Disguise, features lots of undercover creatures. So these are creatures living in our modern world that we might not quite know about. So I imagine, what would it be like if your next door neighbor happened to not be as extinct as we might have thought? So they could be a T-Rex or a dodo, or even perhaps if mythical creatures or cryptids were real, and we might even be living down the road from a Yeti, or maybe the Loch Ness Monster's real and she's your local lifeguard. And that was the thing that inspired me to make this book. I found that idea really fascinating. But when you're designing characters that are these creatures that don't necessarily really exist, it's tricky, because you can't go down to your local zoo and do a real drawing of them, or you can't hang around in a cafe and do some good pictures of people to inspire what your characters might be like. So where'd you start? So with Rex, my main character, it wasn't so hard, because you can go and visit amazing museums that have skeletons, or even models, sometimes models that even move, of dinosaurs, and get a feel for what they might be like, to inspire those characters to understand their movements, their expressions, or even the sheer scale of them. But something like a Yeti or the Loch Ness Monster is trickier. So where do you start? Now, fortunately, there is a wealth of videos and photographs of these alleged creatures that you can watch, especially Bigfoot. There's so many Bigfoot videos out there, things that may or may not be a Bigfoot, or a Yeti, or a Sasquatch, whatever you want to call them. So I watched lots of those, got really into them. Some of them are clearly fake. Some of them they seem quite real to me, but that's yet to be seen. Loch Ness Monster, there's still plenty of photographs out there, some less convincing of the Loch Ness Monster, to be honest, and some of them are clearly hoaxes, but it all gives you information about the legends behind these creatures, what people believe they might be like. So I was able to pick and choose the bits from all of these alleged sightings, or these legends, or these stories that people have told, and put them together to create my own characters that will work in my world to tell this particular story about Rex, who is lost in our modern world. So what I want to do to introduce you to the book is read you a bit of the opening chapter of Rex, which shows you how exactly does a dinosaur end up in the modern world, living next door to you. So I hope you enjoy the story, and thank you very much for listening.
Chapter 1, King of the Dinosaurs. Millions of years ago, Rex was king of the dinosaurs. He could stomp through all the swamps he wanted, and none of the stegosauruses could complain, unless they fancied becoming a delicious brunch. He loved the volcanoes, and the forests, and the football-sized insects. For Rex, this was home. Then one day, it got cold. Not just a bit chilly, Ice Age cold. And it stayed cold for a long, long time. Millions of years, in fact. Finally, things started to heat up, and as the ice began to crack, one big lump dropped into the sea. One big lump containing one big dinosaur. The iceberg slowly melted as Rex floated across miles of water until, at last, land came into view. But here there were no volcanoes, no forests, and not a single massive insect. It was just scary. Everywhere he looked, there were predators. Ow! What? Ah! At first, there didn't seem to be anyone to ask for help. But then, Rex spotted a couple of friendly faces. Other dinosaurs! He hurried inside, ready to ask them what on earth was going on. Only to discover this new place wasn't safe for dinosaurs. Not at all. What now? There was only one thing Rex could think to do: hide. So he curled up as small as he could, which wasn't really that small, and then suddenly realised how exhausted he was. Before he knew it, Rex had fallen asleep. Little did he know, as he began to snore, that help was close at hand, because Rex wasn't the only one trying to keep a low profile at that museum.